Kasha Kwala coming back at you with another lesson, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Akakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. Today's lesson is going to be about being complacent. All right, so I have this word complacent here in the etymology online, and it means very pleasing. Pleasing. It says being very pleasing, pleased with oneself, self-satisfied. And there's one thing while you're in this truth you should definitely avoid, and that's being called this adjective here, which is complacent. There's no way you could be in this truth if you're complacent. That means you're settled on your lees, like the scriptures clearly tell you not to be settled on your matter of fact, let me just get it real quick. Being settled on your lees. All right. Oh. So this is Zephaniah 1 and 12. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candlesticks and punish the men that are settled on their lees. So yeah, the scriptures really, forewarn you not to be settled on your lees and complacent with the position that you're in. You should always be looking to abound and become better each and every single day. That's not even in the thing. I'll say this. That's not even, for individuals who aren't even the truth. They wake up and be like, how can I be better today than I was yesterday? That's simple. Don't think that you're in a camp or that you're in, I'm speaking of myself, that you're in a camp, you may have this position, that position, or whatever, that you just automatically got a ticket to salvation and automatically got a ticket on a chariot or something like that. It don't work like that. You got to work to earn your spot. And working, like the scriptures say, work your work be time. So in his time, he shall reward you. What's that? I want to say Sirach 51. But just knowing that, it says work your work. So being complacent, are you doing any work? No, you're pleased and satisfied from where you are. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'll say this using complacent in another sense when it comes to like in the book of Philippians, the 4th chapter, it says know how to be abased and to be abound and how to abound. Pretty much whatever state you're in, learn to be content with. All right. Or you could say a somewhat complacent with, meaning pleased with whatever rut you're in or whatever, good time you're in. Because regardless, you just be complacent with it and work with it because you know the Lord can change your state at any time. But regardless, you have to continue to work. You could be complacent or content in that sense, but when it comes to the truth and abounding in your spirit, and things of that nature, because we're going to have to teach people, we're going to have to know everything. I'll say it like that because the scriptures say, be apt to teach, be ready to give answer, and also we have an unction to know all things. So we have to answer these questions. You can't be content or complacent in that case. But whatever position the Lord puts you in, that's the position you work with, and you be thankful and content or complacent with where the Lord had put you. Doesn't mean you can't strive to be better. You see what I'm saying? But you just understand why the position you're in is the position you're in. That's it. Going on to read again, it says Zephaniah 1 and 12, and it shall come to pass in that day that I will search Jerusalem with candlesticks and punish the men that are settled on their lees. Right. He's going to search Jerusalem with candlesticks. Candlestick is a tool used for light, okay, straight up, so where you can see in the darkness. He's going to shine that on you. If he sees filth, you shall be punished. But if he sees cleanliness, you shall be rewarded accordingly. All right, it says that say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. Exactly. Pretty much saying, he ain't going to do nothing. When you're in that mindset and don't have any fear or no pressure on you, you become extremely complacent. Which being complacent behind enemy lines isn't the smartest thing you could do, right? This is 2 Corinthians chapter 8. I'm going to start at verse 7. It says, I'm just going to read verse 7. This is the point. It says, therefore, as ye abound in everything, in faith, in utterance, in knowledge, in all diligence, and in your love to us, see that ye abound in this grace also. Well, how do you abound? You got to put in work. You see, Paul did mention what? Diligence. What are you diligent in? Being a lethargic bastard? Or are you going to be diligent in knowing and wisdom and in faith and all this and all these things? A word diligent is spude in the Greek, and it means haste, with haste, earnestness, diligence. Right. So it's a pretty much, you could say diligence is a form of a sense of urgency about things. You know what I'm saying? When you know it's Saturday or Friday, whenever your prospective camps, go to camp, you should have at least a sense of urgency. If the camp heads said camp is at 3 or 2 or 4, whatever, well, you should have a sense of urgency beforehand to get there in a timely manner so you can be there by 2, by 3, by 4, or whatever prospective, time that has been set to have camp. That's diligence. That's how you show diligence. Okay, now if you're just lollygagging in on the camp, dragging feet, showing up 30 minutes late, not communicating anything or something like, you don't have any, you're not showing diligence. You see what I'm saying? It says haste, with haste, earnestness. It says earnestness in accomplishing. Right. So let's bring that, because there's a spirit that's been going out to getting heavier into the prophecies, knowing certain breakdowns and things of that nature. Well, you should be earnestly accomplishing knowing the breakdowns. Have a sense of urgency with you. That's diligence. It says promoting, that's promoting, which could go into the word prompt. Being prompt or punctual. All right, meaning you have a sense of you need to be somewhere at some times. In this case with the scripts, you got to know something at some point. You see what I'm saying? It says, or striving after anything. Right, meaning striving means fighting for. Are you going to fight tooth and nail for this truth? To stay in the truth? To show your diligence? To show the Lord that he shouldn't take the spirit away from you? It says to give diligence, interest oneself most earnestly. Yeah, be interested or amused, which means to divert your attention towards something. Be amused by this truth. And, let me get that definition one more time, because there was something in there. It slipped my mind. Salaki. It says, interest oneself most earnestly. So your interest should be most earnestly into this truth, knowing these breakdowns, knowing these the correct philosophy and doctrine. You know what I'm saying? I said philosophy as in just one, not plural, because there's only one doctrine, one philosophy. That's it, which is the truth. That's the only thing your mind should be given diligence towards. And that's how you continue to abound. All right? That's how you continue to abound in this truth. Okay? It says, I brought out that word complacent. All right? Which means you're self-satisfied, which is a form of selfishness as well. You shouldn't be self-satisfied, because our occupation is a servant. Okay? There is nothing selfish about a servant. You are a service to somebody. You are to serve somebody else who cares about yourself. So if you're complacent as a servant, you're not really serving who you are hired to serve. You see what I'm saying? So with this being said, you have to continue to work. So this is 2 Timothy chapter 2 and 15, the classic. It says, study to show thyself approved of the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed. Right. So if you are ashamed, you're not considered a workman. Or you may have the title of a workman, but your job is shoddy and it's terrible. All right. Therefore, you're ashamed to be called a workman. But in this case, if you study to show thyself approved, then what? You have the worthy title of a workman, because that's what you're actually doing. It says rightly dividing the word of truth. Right. So you have to continue to be abounding in this thing, okay, which is the truth. There should be no complacency. You have to have a certain fire within inside of you to want to know all things. You should want to know everything, all right? But don't come off as a know-it-all. You just need to know everything to teach it. That's simple. Because if you start to know more things, the broader your teaching skills in the things you can cover become. All right? There's a lot of questions out there, and you studying to show yourself approved, therefore broadens your capacity to teach about certain things that people have questions about. If a person has a question about Alexander the Great, you should be able to answer it. If a person has a question about King Uzziah, you should answer it. You should know it. Okay, simple and plain as that. If the person has a question about the mark of the beast, you should be able to break that down because you have studied to continue to show yourself approved of the Most High. We won't see if we're approved or not until we get a crown or get, beamed up in a chariot. Okay, I've been approved. You see? So in the time being, you still have to show yourself that you can be approved by the Heavenly Father. You see? And that was my last precept, but pretty much don't be complacent in this truth. Continue to strive after the perfections. All right, so with that, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem HaChakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. Until the next time, I'm going to say shalom.